Welcome to this pre-recorded webinar on practical strategies for SMEs to stay profitable in Nigeria's unstable economy. We understand that the current economic climate poses significant challenges, but in this session, we'll explore strategies that can help small and medium-sized businesses not only survive but thrive.
At Pearl Anchor Services, we specialize in helping small and medium-sized enterprises thrive, even in challenging economic conditions, with a track record of delivering practical solutions in industries ranging from retail and hospitality to manufacturing and education. We're committed to empowering businesses like yours. Now, let me introduce myself. I'm Ekamini Inyang, lead consultant for business growth and sustainability at Pearl Anchor Services, with over a decade's experience in business management consulting. I've worked alongside small and medium enterprises to navigate tough financial climates, develop sustainable growth strategies, and enhance profitability. My goal today is to share actionable insights based on both data and real-life case studies. Please note that the research for this webinar was done between April and September of 2024, when the Naira was free-falling rapidly and fuel prices were rising. Even though the Naira is making a gradual comeback and fuel prices are downscaling, operational costs remain high. As such, small and medium-sized businesses are still struggling with how best to navigate tough situations. This webinar is structured to be as engaging and practical as possible. We've included a mix of pre-recorded videos to make the experience feel conversational, and I'll also be using voiceovers to guide you through key concepts and solutions. So, get comfortable, grab a pen and paper, and let's get started.
Introduction to Inflation in Nigeria, June 2024. Inflation in Nigeria has been rising across multiple categories, affecting both consumers and businesses. For small and medium-sized enterprises, this means increased costs, shrinking profit margins, and difficulty in maintaining financial stability. This slide highlights 5 key inflation metrics that directly impact business operations. Let's break them down. 1. Headline inflation 34.19%. This is the overall inflation rate, reflecting the average increase in prices across all goods and services. It sets the general tone for economic conditions, indicating how much more expensive it is to run a business and maintain profitability. 2. Core inflation 27.40%. Core inflation excludes volatile items like food and energy. It represents the long-term trend in price changes, which affects fixed business expenses such as rent, salaries, and utilities. 3. Urban inflation 36.55%. This measures price increases in cities and urban areas where most small and medium-sized enterprises operate. Higher urban inflation means increased rent, transportation costs, and wages, putting more pressure on businesses in commercial hubs. 4. Rural inflation 32.09%. This captures price changes in rural areas. It's crucial for businesses sourcing raw materials or agricultural products, as increased costs in rural areas directly affect supply chains. 5. Food inflation 40.87%. The highest inflation rate on this list. Food inflation significantly impacts businesses in the hospitality, food retail, and catering industries. When food prices rise sharply, businesses in these sectors struggle with cost control, pricing strategies, and customer retention. Understanding these inflation types helps small and medium-sized enterprises develop better cost management strategies, pricing adjustments, and financial planning to stay afloat. Now, let's explore the effect of these inflation on small and medium enterprises. 1. Rising cost of raw materials and supplies. 2. Higher operational costs. 3. Reduce customer spending. 4. Difficulty in setting selling price. 5. Access to business credit. Webinar scope and objectives. Today, we'll focus on one of the 3 key areas where you can implement strategies to maintain a positive bottom line despite these challenges: cost structuring, with a focus on inventory management. By the end of this session, you'll have a clear roadmap for navigating these turbulent times and ensuring your business remains resilient. Inventory management during economic instability. Let's start with inventory management. In an unstable economy like ours, inventory management can make or break a business. Holding too much inventory ties up your capital, especially in a time when cash flow is crucial. On the other hand, understocking can lead to stockouts, lost sales, and dissatisfied customers. Pause for a moment, let's talk. Right now, many suppliers are demanding quicker payments due to the fluctuating value of the naira. This puts additional pressure on your cash flow, so how do you strike a balance? Take 2 minutes to leave your thoughts in the comment section. Welcome back, and good job! At Pause, we have one tested and trusted strategy, which is the just-in-time inventory management model. The just-in-time inventory management model is a strategy where materials are ordered and received only as needed for production. This minimizes the cost of holding inventory and reduces the risk of being stuck with obsolete stock, especially when the economic situation is unpredictable. In Nigeria, adopting the just-in-time inventory management model can help small and medium-sized enterprises maintain liquidity and reduce the financial burden of overstocking. However, implementing the just-in-time inventory management model requires strong supplier relationships and reliable logistics, which can be challenging given our infrastructure issues.
Now we've talked about just-in-time inventory management model. So I'm going to give you a case in point. Like I said earlier, these are not just theoretical strategies. These are strategies that are tried and trusted. These are strategies that we have used with our own clients here at Pearl & Court Services, and we've seen the results and they work. And so the first case here, there's a company, there is a tech retailer here in Lagos, Ikeja. And so late last year, they engaged us because they had a stock of gadgets that were not selling. And like we said, there are all these factors where you have inflation, you have the naira nosediving. So those items on their shelves were losing value. And so they needed to sell those items off. They were already counting losses. So when we analyzed their books, we saw what the issues were. And then so what we decided to do was to first off ensure that we isolated this set of gadgets that were not selling at all. The issue was that this set of gadgets were not fast selling products. So they had overstocked on them because they do not have, an inventory management system or a sales process that actually analyzes their sales. So we were able to do all of this and crafted out these slow moving products, and we're able to match them up with fast selling products, and we're able to sell them off. What we were aiming at was not profit at that point because we were already running at losses. But what we were able to do for our clients was that we were able to get 63% of those slow-moving products off the shelves in 3.5 months, and we're able to break even with those products. So they did not lose, even though they didn't make profit, but they did not lose money, and then they were able to sell at a price that enabled them to stock up on their quick and fast-selling products that added value to their business. What we also did was, after we sold off those items that they had overstocked on, we then initiated the just-in-time inventory management model. What this helped them do was it reduced their inventory cost by 20%. So the cost of holding inventory or stock items that you did not need, the cost of managing those stock items reduced by 20%. And so, like I said, if we go back, we're still working with them now, we still manage their books, and we see that their bottom line has improved last month as much as by 7%, and that's good improvement in this climb where businesses are folding up. They are making profits to the tune of an increase by 7% from the last 2 months. So just in time inventory management system works. And so if you're in a retail business, just like I have explained, you can employ this method, to help manage and control your inventory.
How can small and medium-sized enterprises manage the just-in-time inventory management model with unreliable suppliers?
Okay, to answer that question, how do you ensure that you have reliable suppliers if you're employing the just-in-time inventory management model? Okay, so first off, like I was saying during the case in point, the example I gave about my clients, you have to make sure that first you have internal processes that work, internal processes that are adequate to support your operations. For example, you have to have a minimum reorder level for your inventory. You have to make sure that across all your SKUs, you have minimum reorder levels. You can't wait till you run out of stock to begin to place an order. That way of operating would not allow you to thrive. So you have to make sure that you have internal processes that work. You have to have a process where you analyze your sales. This thing I want to order for, do I need it? How long does it take to sell? Is it something that sells fast? So that you're not also tying down your capital. So you do not want to tie down capital or tie down your money in inventory. So have internal processes that work. Have internal processes that are adequate to support your business operations. That's number one. Number two, now talking about reliable suppliers. You have to have a stream of them. So diversify your vendor base. You have to build relationships with different suppliers that are important to your operations. You have to show them that you respect contractual terms. You pay as at when you're supposed to pay. You don't put them under pressure because you have internal processes that work for you. Do you see what I mean? And so when you are able to diversify your vendor base, you will really not run out of a vendor when you need supplies. Do you understand what I mean? And then you can also localize your search for suppliers. So if you believe if you can get your supplies from Ikotekpene, if you can get your supplies from Aba, why do you need to go to Lagos? Why do you need to go to somewhere farther? Do you understand? If you can localize them, you can shorten the delivery time. That would also help your operations. So it's important, first have internal processes that work, and then diversify your vendor base. Do you understand? And make sure your communication with your vendors and your suppliers are open. Let them understand your business as well. Don't catch them by surprise. Make sure your things are going through a process. Processes are everything. Processes make your operations simpler and seamless. So that's the answer to how you can work with unreliable suppliers.
Just in case functions as a push system, the company stocks up its inventory as much as it can. Just in time as a pull system, in other words, it allows for demand to set the tone of production. Pull is made to order, while push is made for inventory. Just-in-time isn't without its risks. However, it is the preferred and most effective inventory management system for small and medium-sized enterprises. It requires excellent planning. Pearl Anchor Services is here to support you in this journey. We offer tailored consulting services that can help you implement these strategies effectively based on your unique business needs. We've helped numerous small and medium-sized enterprises navigate similar challenges, and we're ready to help you too.